Today's Monday, it's the 11th of December 2023, and I'm all on my own. Anita's gone off to England now, and she'll be there for a few days and then coming back with Serena. Chance to do a little bit of Christmas shopping, chance to be with the family, but I've stayed here and keeping very warm. It's actually just over 21 degrees today. And I'm going to bring you a little bit of news. Apologies for the noise of the cars going by and whatever other noises appear, dogs in the background for example. But last week I did actually put a little bit of news about Spanish pensions. I've had a year now, nearly a year of being a pensioner. We both fully retired at the end of December last year. Anita had already started retirement with a partial retirement. And so I thought I'd just add a few little things to the video that I gave you last week about pensions, and just to add a few things that I really missed out. And one is that I talked about the earnings related pension, and that's if you pay into the system. If you don't pay into the system, there is a non-contributory pension, which is very basic and is hardly enough really for anyone to live on. It's only about 500 euros or so. It can be topped up with other things, but it's still very little money. The contributory pension, what I failed to mention was that you have to contribute to 15 years before you qualify for that. So if you only work for 15 years, you've only paid 14 years into the system, then you don't qualify for this earnings related pension. You have to have completed 15 years. And then at 15 years from then on, it gradually becomes a bigger percentage of your earnings related part of the pension. Up to a total of 37 years, just over 37 years. If you paid just over 37 years, then you do get the full pension, 100% of their calculation, which is not far off your final earnings. And you don't pay social security once you've retired, so that helps to bring it up a little bit to more or less what you were earning before you retired. So it is a very good pension. The other thing I didn't really say too much about was the different sorts of pension, and early retirement was one. I could retire at 65 and still get my full pension because I had paid my 37 years of social security. But people can retire earlier. From around about 61 you can start to retire. But if you do that, you're going to lose a percentage, and I believe it's about 8% for each year that you retire early, and that means you can lose an awful lot of money on your pension. And so I think I did mention in the last video that people do tend to be working a little bit longer now and not retiring early, though many do retire at about 63. And now I've got a truck going by just to add to the noise. Always something going on in Hanover. Other than that, the type of retirement that Anita had was called partial retirement, and that meant she could stop working full time and just work one day a week. You can negotiate with your employer how many days you work, but she managed to negotiate it right down to one day. She worked very hard for that one day, and she then gets pension for the other 4 days. And because she'd done enough years, she got the full pension for those 4 days, and so it didn't really make much difference to how much she brought home at the end of the month. Another thing, just while I'm mentioning Anita, is that in Spain you get an extra little bit of pension for each child you've had. So for each child there's an amount. It used to be a percentage, but a couple of years ago they changed it to a set amount. I can't remember what the set amount was, but for every additional child there's a small amount of money. More to be said about that a little bit later on. Another form of retirement is called flexible retirement, and now I've got a helicopter going over me. All fun in Hanover. So you can do some partial types of retirement called flexible retirement, where again you'll work part-time and you will get part of your pension. That allows you to increase your social security payments, so if you haven't got enough, so that you can increase the amount of pension you're going to get later on. So if you've done your 37 years and a bit, then you can retire at 65. Otherwise, you've got to wait till 66 years, and that will go up as well. So that's the latest I've got on the pensions. So this thing I was going to tell you about is that not only do pensioners get and it's I think it was ladies, but I think now men can actually apply for this as well. But ladies would get an extra bit just to take into account the fact that they didn't actually have the opportunity to work so long if they had children. So a lady, when they have the baby, they will normally take some time off before and some time after. That's their maternity leave, and more to be said on that as well. The maternity leave here seems to be very good, a lot more than it used to be when Anita had the children. So you now, they take that into account and you get a little bit of an extra pension. What's been announced today, which just caught my eye, is that the government have decided to give what they're referring to as a baby check. And this is ranging from €800 to 1,400 for each child that's born. The reason there's a range is that it's €800 for the first child, €1,000 for the second, 1,200 for the third, and 1,400 for the fourth child or fifth child or sixth child. And that I don't know, I could see people just having babies to have that extra bit of money. But they're not going to be working, and maybe that will come in handy. It certainly is very expensive having children. Last year there were only 9,079 children born in the Balearic Islands, and that's one of the lowest numbers in recent years. And there is somewhat of a decline of births here, so a bit of concern a little bit about that. So moving on to other things, Anita was here on Saturday, and we went out Saturday night, went to the football match, and some of you may have seen I put the pre-match build-up with all the fireworks and noise and explosions. Really quite an exciting build-up. And the match itself was really quite an exciting match. It was very nervy. Mallorca didn't have a great deal of possession, but they managed to score a goal in the first 10-11 minutes, and the goal was scored by Larin. Larin's a Canadian. Kyle Larin is a Canadian international footballer who joined Mallorca this season and has actually done nothing until Saturday night when he scored his first goal. So we're hoping for big things from him. It cost the club €8 million, which is a lot of money for Mallorca. Probably not on the world stage, but on Mallorca stage it's a lot of money, and he really needs to start earning his keep. But that was quite a good result. They managed to hold on to that 1-0 lead for the whole match, and they beat Sevilla 1-0, and that really boosted them up a little bit. They even overtook Sevilla. So we're a little bit away from that relegation zone, which is where I was fearing we're going. We've still got 2 more matches before the Christmas break. The next one is on Sunday at 2 o'clock. It's an away match. And well, we have won 1 match away this season. We've won 1 away, and we've now won 1 at home. So that's 2 matches we've won this season. But the match on Sunday, it's at 2 o'clock, and it's against Almeria. Almeria are supporting all the other clubs above them because they are rock bottom at the bottom, haven't won yet. And so we're hoping now that Larin scored a goal at Majorca. He can now go and score 1 against, or 2 or 3, we don't mind how many, keep them coming, against Almeria, and that will hopefully add a few more points before the Christmas break. We still have 1 more match, and that's going to be a home match, and it will be back for that, and it's on the Thursday before Christmas, That's going to be a much harder game against Atletico Osasuna, and well, we'll see what that's got to bring. Again, it's a home match, and it's one of these very late starting matches. 9:30, I think the kickoff is. It's going to be nearly a midnight kickoff to finish. So, yeah, hopefully there's 6 points to come, and well, we'll see if we can get something out of that. And then the first match back is an away match against Real Madrid, so that's on the 3rd of January, so we'll just hope for anything from that. You'll notice I'm sitting outside in my shirt. It's actually, I just looked up there, it was 21 degrees, and it's just getting warmer and warmer, and tomorrow it could get even warmer than that. We're having some really warm, lovely weather at the moment. But again, that weather forecast said it's going to plummet by the end of the week. So starting on Wednesday, there's supposed to be a cold front coming in, and the temperatures might not be so high. In fact, they're predicted to go down by 10 degrees. But the temperatures today, tomorrow, could be as high as 24 degrees or even more, which is lovely weather. We went down to Port Owls, and we could see people in the sea on Sunday morning, and several people swimming on the sea, several people on the beach. Absolutely beautiful day. So that's more or less the news, and a little bit of weather, a little bit of sport, and well, I've got to go and do my granddad duties now. I'm off to the Up Mayor to pick the girls up from school, and then I'll take them out to lunch. Anita will be back at the weekend, and hopefully I'll get out and do some videos out and about. Thanks very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.